Okay, we back. We back up and running.
Come on.
Oh, we back down again.
I guess the class is recorded too, so. Oh, I forgot. We might have too many videos. Don't remember the last time I fixed that situation. Oh, wow. Yellow, we back to green, yellow, green, red, green, and KBS is growing, so I think we're good now.
Back on it?
I think I got it fixed.
All right.
Still on green, still on green, still on green.
Shalom, Mr. Thumb. As always, technical difficulties. We got to work on that. I blame it on the white man as usual. But yeah, we gonna kick it off. We talking about today's our history class. Last week, as you know, was Ash Wednesday, the beginning of Lent, a pagan holiday. If you have any questions before we get started on the history of this paganism, get your questions out the way. Give it another minute, and then we're gonna just jump right off on it. Anyone online right now?
Nobody, sir.
Okay. All right. So, as you know, we got to ask ourselves, what is Lent? Lent is basically a 40-day period before Easter. And there's a couple of things that goes on during this 40-day period and what it represents. As you know, since the Council of Nicaea and Constantine, who was the Roman emperor at that time, a lot of these heathen customs and pagan holidays have been Christianized. And so we got to ask ourselves, the things that we are worshiping, the things that we are celebrating, is it in vain? Is it in the scriptures? And despite popular belief, the importance of these these history classes that we teach on Monday is to debunk popular belief, is to debunk the Christian lies that have spewed on the planet, the flood of lies that comes from our oppressor that has consumed our mind and brainwashed us into believing that without Christ we can somehow get closer to the Most High. When I say Christ, I'm not talking about the Christ that they preach in your Christian church. That Christ is too soft. That Christ is not a man of war. That Christ is not the revolutionary figure that's indicated in the Bible. That Christ is not an austere man. The Christ that the Christians have, I want to say, proposed in their mind is considered a deity, is labeled as a god, which is contrary to Scripture. When Christ was a man just like me and you, what was the difference between him and us is that he was the Lord's special son. What do I mean by that? You know, when you think about the term, the only begotten son, he was the Lord's favorite son, meaning every parent has a favorite child, and Christ was the one that was able to please the Most High more than the rest. He was the one that kept his laws, his statutes, his commandments, and followed orders to the T, which is why he is worthy to be called the King of Israel, which is why he's worthy to rule the planet with a rod of iron. So now now 2,000 years later, we fast forward to what Roman Catholic Church and the Methodist Church and all these factions of Christianity or Christian organizations. We come to a time where now, as of last Wednesday, you have a bunch of Christians putting with ashes on their foreheads with a cross symbol. And so you got to wonder where that comes from. And so we're gonna break it down today and really get the whole history behind Lent and Ash Wednesday. But before that, let me get Jeremiah chapter 10.
Jeremiah. 10 and 2?
Yeah, just jump right to it.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
It says, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. And what we've done in America is that we've learned the way of the heathen. If you were in a Catholic church last Wednesday, and if you've had an ash marked on your forehead with the symbol of a cross, you have learned the way of the heathen. You know what I mean? If you Easter's coming up, right? Lent is the 40th day before Easter, right? And so it's a time of penitence. What does the word penitence mean?
I've never heard it before.
Penitence is when you, well, let's pull it up.
How do you spell it?
Penitence, I believe. Double check that spelling, but I believe it's Tence. Give me that definition.
Penitence. Let me go to the Merriam. Penitence, the quality or state of